There's an epidemic in our culture in the United States. I went down to preach on a Caribbean island this last year to do a 10-day conference. And I was like the first white person that some of those teenagers had ever seen in person. And so they had a lot of questions about the United States. It was interesting. It was eye-opening. And they said, are people in the U.S. so fat because they all eat fast food all the time? And I'm like, yeah, actually, you're right. And they said, but you have, they have our television, so they see our commercials. They said, you have a gym there for $10 called Planet Fitness. I said, yes, we do. I have a membership there. And they said, do you go? And I was like, They're like, going to the gym is cheaper than one meal at a fast food restaurant. Why is it that people don't go? And I said, well, heart disease runs rampant in the United States, and most people don't exercise for very long because they have a bad heart. They're like, well, how did they get a bad heart? I was like, because of the lack of exercise. All of a sudden, this vicious cycle began to appear. We have heart problems because of what we took in that we never worked out. And so, since we eat and eat and eat, but we never exercise, that lack of exercise causes us to have a heart problem. And that heart problem hinders us from exercising, and that hindering us from exercising creates more time to eat. And the more I eat, the less I exercise, the worse my heart problem gets. And the worse my heart problem gets, the harder it is for me to exercise. Do you see how one of those things is going to have to change before our body's going to change? In the church today, most people have a heart problem. They have a heart problem because they come to church. It's a consumer experience. They eat and they eat and they eat, but they never exercise the things that they learn. And so because they don't exercise, they become fat Christians. They don't accomplish anything. They just sit on their behinds and do nothing. And so the longer we sit, the harder it is for us to exercise, the worse our spiritual heart problem gets. And the worse our heart problem gets, the more we come and we just eat. And the more that we just eat and we never exercise, the worse our heart problem gets. And the heart of the matter is always the heart of the matter. And the reason why we're experiencing division in our culture and division in our churches is because we have a spiritual heart disease. And in order to get free from that heart disease, we're going to have to start exercising out the principles that we have been taking in. Because if all you do is eat and you never exercise, you become old constipated Christians, and we can see it on your face. I'm at peace when I do my part. I will die without the heart. And then this is what I want to challenge you with today. Principle number 3 is the most fun one. Today is a good day to start. Today is the best day to start. You know that heart, without your physical heart, every other piece of your body dies, because that heart pumps blood or extremities. And so if blood doesn't make it to your extremities, those extremities rot and fall off and just die. So if I have the heart of Christ inside of me, it was by the piercing of his heart that the blood redeemed me from my sin. And where I was cold and bloodless and lifeless and dead, I was revived. If I'm motivated by the heartbeat of Jesus Christ, not only will a multitude of sins be covered by his blood in my life, but I'll be motivated to share that blood with the people that are around me.